Assalamu alaikum. Chapter Direct and Inverse Proportion. Topic to be discussed are ratio, proportion, quick review, direct proportion, main concept, derivation, word problems. For reference, we are using exercise 1A of this book, so stay tuned.
What is ratio? I think the best way to explain this question is through the example. So let's jump to the examples. I have 3 squares and 4 ovals. Please note these shapes are in 2 different quantities. So we can write these quantities as 3:4 or 3 upon 4. Similarly, 4 smiley face and 5 hearts can be written as 4:5 or 4 upon 5. Other than shapes, 7 books, 14 copybooks can be written as 7:14 or can be simplified into 1 upon 2. And similarly, 8 pencil, 16 erasers can be written as 8:16, 8 upon 16 and can be simplified as 1 upon 2. Therefore, from the previous examples, we have tried to establish that ratio is nothing but a comparison between 2 different quantity. For example, 3 squares and 4 oval, 2 books and 4 pencils. So what is proportion? Here is a scenario. To bake a cake, one single cake, I have to add 1 cup of cocoa powder and 2 cups of flour according to its recipe. What if I have to make a 3-layered cake like this? And we all know that we do not want to disturb the ingredients that we are using in one single cake, otherwise our cake will be ruined. And I know the recipe of one single cake, I do not know the recipe of 3-layered cake. What will I do? Correct. We will increase each quantity 3 times like this. I will use, instead of 1, I will use 3 cups of cocoa powder. That means 1 multiplied by 3 makes 3 cups of cocoa powder. And I will use 6 cups of flour. That means 2 multiplied by 3. I have increased the quantity like this. Actually, what we did here is we have kept the ratio of the ingredient fixed. Yeah, right. We have kept the ingredient fixed. Or in both the cases, we can say that we did not disturb the proportion of the main ingredient of our cake. That's why our 3-layer cake came out exactly the same. Which is what the proportion is. How much quantity you increase, the ratio will remain same. So proportion is when 2 ratios and fractions are equal. Like in this picture, we have increased the size of the picture, or we can say that we have scaled up the picture A to scale B, but the ratio of the length and the breadth between the length and the breadth remains the same. That is 3 upon 8. Direct and indirect proportion. Now we will go through the concept of direct and indirect proportion in detail through derivations and exercises. And I am referring this book, Oxford New Syllabus Mathematics, 7th edition. It's a very comprehensive book as far as exercises and practice are concerned. So I am going to solve most of the problems from this. Let's consider this case. In Singapore, if we borrow books from public library and are late in returning the books, we will be fined 15 cents per day for each overdue book. We can clearly see from this table that on the first day we will be charged 15 cents and on the second day we will be charged 30. Similarly, on 5th day, we will be charged 75. So we can observe that as the number of the day increases, the fine is also increasing. But what if the number of the day is doubled? We can see this case, number 3. All right. If we double number 3, we know that 3 multiplied by 2 is 6. What will happen to its fine? Its fine is 90. So we can clearly see that 45 multiplied by 2, or the 2 times of 45, is 90. If we have doubled the number of the days, the fine will be doubled. Now, if we triple the number of the day, what will happen? So let's consider this case number 2. If I multiply number 2 with 3, it's tripled. So 3 times of number 2 is 6. If I increase the number of the day 3 times, what will happen to the fine? The fine is 90. And we all know that 3 times of 30 makes 90. So if the number of the day is tripled, fine will also be tripled. If the number of the day a book is overdue is halved, how will the fine be? Let's consider this case. Let's make it half. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Let's go to number 4. What will happen to the fine? Alright, the fine is 60, and we all know that the half of 120 is 60. So we have reached to a conclusion. If the number of the day is halved, the fine will also be halved. It is more clear from our investigation, as the number of the days increases, fine increases, and as the number of the days decreases, the fine decreases. We can say fine is increasing with constant pattern or constant number, that is 15. Or we can say the fine decreases and increases proportionally. And we all know when the word proportional comes, it means constant ratio. Therefore, such relationship where one amount increases with another amount at constant rate is called directly proportional relationship. Please note that the ratio is the comparison between two quantities of same kind, whereas the rate is the comparison of the two quantity of different kinds, and we have discussed its example, ratios example, previously. If y is directly proportional to x, then y1 over x1 is equals to y2 over x2, or x2 over x1 is equals to y2 over y1. To understand and consider this relationship between variable x and variable y, let us consider the previous table once again. As we can see that number of days is denoted by x and fine is denoted by y. There is one another row has been added, which is the row of rate. Now we have already established that as the number of the days is increasing, fine is increasing. The number of the days is doubled, fine is doubled. Number of the day is tripled, fine is tripled. But what happened to the rate? We haven't considered it before. Now let us check in each column what happened to the rate. 15. So 15 divided by 1 is 15. 30 divided by 2 is 15. Similarly, 135 divided by 9 is also 15. And 150 divided by 10 is also 15. So we can observe very clearly that in each column, as the number of the days increases, fine increases, and it is increasing at a constant rate, which makes it fall under the definition of direct proportion, which says when one amount increases, another amount increases at constant rate. So we can see that here rate remains constant. Now let us consider once again column number 1 and column number 2. Let x1 be number 1 and let y1 be 15. Similarly, let x2 be 2 and its corresponding fine will be y2 will be 30. So as we know that in the case of direct proportion, rate remains constant. So we can write rate of column number 1 is equals to rate of column number 2, that is 15. From the formula of rate we can write y1 upon x1 is equals to y2 upon x2. Practice now. Question A. If 5 grams of sweet cost 2.10, find the cost of 380 grams of sweets, giving your answer correct to nearest 5 cents. So there is a comparison between mass and cost. We know 50 grams cost 2.10 and 380 grams cost is unknown. So let x1 be 50, y1 is 2.10, x2 is equals to 380 and y2 is equals to is the unknown value. Now we know the formula, that is y1 upon x1 is equals to y2 upon x2 keeping y2 in the numerator, cross multiply the others. Y2 is equals to multiply by x2 upon x1, which makes y2, putting values, is 2.10 multiplied by 380 upon 50. So this multiplication is very easy, so I am not doing it, I am just writing it down directly. That the answer is 15.96. If you want me to do the multiplication or simplification, show how we came up with this answer, I will tell you. Now there is one more requirement in the question, which is correct to the nearest 5 cents. Now 5 cents is 0.05. 5 cents means this is answer is going to be in dollar. 5 cents means 0.05. So we will write an answer. We will round it off to the nearest 5. So 15.95. This is, never ever forget the unit. So this is going to be our answer, $15. Now practice part B. 3 upon 4 of piece of metal has mass of 15 kg. What is the mass of 2 upon 5 piece of metal? Similarly, it's very simple. We know the formula, and what we have to do is just make a data. So again, the data is piece of metal. I am just writing piece of metal, that is 3 upon 4 and mass. Okay, so there is a comparison between piece of metal and a mass. Mass is 15 kg. And what is the mass of 2 upon 4 piece of metal? Okay, let 3 upon 4 be x1, y upon 4 y1 be 15 kg, x1 is 2 upon 5 and y2 is the unknown value. And we know the formula y1 upon x1 is equals to y2 upon x2. y2 is unknown. So keeping y2, y1 multiplied by x2 upon x1. Let's put the value. 15 multiplied by 2 upon 5 over 3 upon 4. It's already cancelling. 5 ones are 5, 5 threes are 15. y2 is equals to 2 multiplied by 3, 6 upon 3 over 4. We all know how to solve this. This means I can write it down in a simple manner. 6 divided by 3 upon 5, or I must say 6 upon 1 divided by 3 upon 5. How will we do this? We all know when we are dividing fractions, what we have to do. y2 is equals to keeping 6 here, cross multiply, reciprocal of 3 upon 4 will be 4 upon 3, and 3 1 are 3, 3 2 are 6. y2 is equals to 2 4 8. I told you never forget the 108 identical books have the mass of 30 kg. Find the mass of 150 such books. So there is a comparison between number of books. So I will write books and mass. That is 108 books and the mass is going to be 30 kg. We have to find out the mass of 150 of such books. So x1, let x1 be 108, y1 be 30 kg, x2 be 150 and y2 be unknown value. We already know the formula. y1 upon x1 is equals to y2 is equals to upon x2, keeping y1 on the one side, cross multiply y1 into x2 upon x1. Now putting the values, 30 multiplied by 150 upon 108. So I will write down the answer directly. 125 upon 3. If you want to convert it into the mixed fraction, we can do that as well. 125, 3 fours, 3 fours are 12, 5, and now we can write our answer in the form of mixed fraction. 41, 2, 1, 3. Exercise 1A, question number 2, part 1. Okay, let's read the question. In a bookstore, 60 identical books occupy a length of 1.5 meter. Here there is a comparison between books and length, right? Very important to establish this, that let 60 be x1, 1.5 be y1, 50 be x2, and the unknown value has to be y2. The formula, that is, so y2 is in the numerator. I think we can use any of the formula, taking the values that we have in data. y2 is equals to 50 multiplied by 1.5 over 60. So 0 and 0 cancel. We know that 7.5 upon 6. And if you want me to show the rough work as well, just let me know. I will show you the rough work as well. 1.25 after division. So never forget the unit in which we have to give the answer. 1.25 meter. This is our answer. Exercise 1A, question number 2, part 2. Bookstore, 60 identical books occupy a length of 1.5 meter and on a shelf. The number of, we have to find the number of the book. I'm reading part 2 only. The number of such books needed to completely occupy a shelf that is 80 centimeter long. So in part 1 we know it's the comparison between book and length. Now we need to know the numbers of the book that occupies 80 centimeter on shelf. Okay, now here we can see the length. Both the lengths that are given to us have different units. So it is very important to either convert 1.5 into centimeter or to convert 80 into meters. So whatever is easy for you. Okay, I am going to convert 1.5 into centimeter. We all know that 1 meter is equals to 100 centimeter. It's easy basically, that's why I'm doing it. So 1.5 meter, how many 1.5 meter is going to be in centimeter? Simply we have to multiply 1.5 multiply by 100 makes 1. Let x1 be 60, that's let y1 be 1.5, it's going to be, okay, 150. x2 is going to be unknown value and y2 is going to be 80. So we know our formula. Now putting values, that is going to be, we have to find x2. So let me do some cross multiplication and keep x2 on one side while the other known values are going to be on the other side of is equal to x1 y1. So x2 is equal to 80 multiplied by 60 upon 150. 0 and 0 cancel. We all know 80 multiplied by 6 is 480. upon 30, 15 ones are 15, and 30, 2 and 45 divided by 15 is 32, so it's going to be 32. So the value of x2 is going to be 32 books.
Find link for question 5 and 6 in description box. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more updates.